Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Real Positive Girl podcast. My name is Sabrina. Happy Friday to you all. I hope that you're having a fantastic day. I hope that your day is going well. I hope that it's positive, and I hope that it is a great day to round out the work week and hopefully go into the weekend. I understand that some people work on the weekend, but still, hopefully you're rounding out the day, just in general, rounding out the week positively. Just a reminder that this week we are talking about New Year, same you, new mood. And today, Friday, we are going to end the week talking about get organized for the year. But before we jump in, I do want to remind you that the 5-minute reset could be your saving grace. If you are having a hard day, a tough day, feeling stressed, feel like you just want to kind of draw a line in the sand and forget everything that's weighing you down, causing you issues, and to move forward but still enjoy the rest of your day, the 5-minute reset is for you. It allows you to take at least 5 minutes to be by yourself and reset, reboot, restart your day right then and there. Again, drawing a line in the sand, kind of just putting that part of the day behind you and starting fresh and looking forward to the rest of the day in front of you without letting the other part drag you down. You can take a mini break from any issues or burdens that are dragging you down. Spend some time coming up with any resolutions for any problems or issues that you're dealing with, whether by yourself or with others. I also always encourage everyone to create a list of at least 4 things that you are grateful for, big, small, or medium size. I honestly think you should do the gratitude list, whether or not you need to do your 5-minute reset. But maybe you just want to skip the part where you have to really reset and you just do the gratitude part. It's totally fine. But you can be grateful for literally anything. You can be grateful that, you made a really good dinner, or maybe you actually found time to clean up the house and you haven't been able to. Maybe you're grateful that you finally had time to go grocery shopping and figure out how to get some healthy stuff into your home. Or maybe you're grateful that you're actually going to be able to go to bed before midnight. That's definitely something that I believe I'm going to be grateful for tonight. I really need it. And I'm just looking forward to it. So you can literally be grateful for anything. The list is endless, which makes it even more fantastic. And last but not least, make sure that you're feeling at least neutral, if not positive, about the rest of your day, because hopefully creating your gratitude list and just spending more time thinking about your blessings and the positive things in your life will help you to focus more on that positive side and not the negative things that are happening in your life that apparently more often than not want to shine through and cast a blanket over everything. But if you spend more time thinking about the positives and the blessings, it will help you get through those negative times. But I do hope that you are having a great day on this Friday. Like I said at the top of the show, this week we are talking about New Year, same you, new mood. And today, Friday, we're talking about get organized for the year. So let's just jump right into the episode. To end this week's topic, we are going to talk about how important it is to be as organized as possible in the beginning of the year. And I wanted to make sure that I said as organized as possible because I don't want you to stress yourself out trying to do it. Now, I'm not saying you have to be super detail-oriented and fixated on every single little thing, but kind of having a good idea of what you want to do, to work on and create goals around can really help you accomplish your goals even easier, and it'll be super helpful. Being organized doesn't have to be something where you feel like you're being super neurotic and overly aggressive about every little place that everything is and how everything is set up and scheduled. You can have a more relaxed feeling and mood about it. Sometimes I can get into the whole being way overly organized. It definitely helps in some situations and it's overbearing in others. But that's where you try to find the balance, right? If you do experience the same thing, or maybe you are barely organized at all and then you're on that spectrum of barely anything and then a tiny bit, maybe bumping it up a notch, but still meeting somewhere in the middle so you're not stressing yourself out. Honestly, it's just supposed to be something that will help you and assist you, not cause you more pain and suffering. And you might be thinking that it's too late to get started on being organized for the beginning of the year, seeing as we are already halfway through, but it's not true. As I've mentioned before, I think you can take the first whole month, the first couple weeks, the first whole month of the year to settle in And you don't have to be ready from day one and feel like you have to be on top of it all, Don't feel like you have to have that expectation just because someone else might, or that kind of messaging is being pushed on you. It's just not true. We all are adults. We all are all able to make our own decisions and, thrive in those decisions that we make, because we're all on our own journey, right? And you may even still be deciding what you want to even focus on for goals and continued growth, and that's okay. There's no problem with that. I want you to know that you can take your time in figuring that out. There's been so many people that I follow that are like, have you guys figured out your goals yet? I haven't quite figured out mine. For me, I haven't even quite figured out my goals. I think I mentioned that earlier this week. I am hoping to spend some time tomorrow and the next day really actually putting pen to paper, because they're in my head, but you can truly manifest things and actually create real plans for things if they're written down and you're able to put it either maybe in your phone, on your computer, in an actual written journal, however way that you find it best to organize your thoughts and your ideas. So I do plan on doing that this weekend, but I want you to know it's not too late. You haven't missed the boat per se. You are quite capable of doing it now and still succeeding so much. Because like I mentioned in a previous episode this week, that even if you have a goal that you want to carry through the whole 12 months, even if it does carry over into 2022 a little bit, it's fine. There's nothing wrong with that. I think that the new year coming up next year will even spark the fact that, wow, you're so close to actually achieving that goal that you had set for yourself. And that's totally fine. It'll seem like a breeze, especially if you decide to implement new goals at the top of next year. You see what I mean? So I don't think that you should be hard on yourself if you haven't created any goals yet, if you haven't evaluated different ways for you to grow and learn and change and continue to adapt in the things that you're already working towards. There's nothing wrong with that. And I want you to know there is nothing wrong with that. And there's nothing wrong with deciding now that you want to get organized, even if you haven't had any organization and you did start some goals at the top of the year. You know what I mean? You can implement it at any time. Honestly, if you're like, no, that's not for me, I'm going to wait till June. Do it. I just think that, with the feeling of hope and growth and joy and relief of a new year upon us, it's a great time to start that because of those emotions, because of those strong feelings. Maybe you can feel the same in June, for sure. You can feel the same in March. It doesn't matter. But if you feel that not overwhelming, but just fullness of excitement for the new year, you might as well implement it now while you're feeling your most positive self that you could right now, and then get on that train to create that into a habit and to start now to make your life better. But again, if it's not time yet, you are welcome to start at any time that you find it to work best for you. But here are some quick ideas on how to get organized for the new year. I only have 4 suggestions for you guys today, just quick ideas that could really help. So the first one I want to mention is to try not to have too many calendars to track everything in. So I am the culprit of this. I have that problem because for me, I like to have a calendar, like a Google Sheets kind of thing for ideas for the show. And for Instagram and YouTube. But then I recently bought a paper calendar to keep all of that in. And then I also bought another planner to keep all of my personal appointments in. And then I also have a wall calendar. And then I have, a calendar on my phone. Then I have a calendar for work. And it's all a little overwhelming, right? And for me personally, I don't like to keep personal things in my work calendar unless I have to indicate some way that I will be not at my desk. So it kind of just gets a very generalized name of where I will be. But then I generally put a lot of things in my phone calendar. However, I do like the aesthetic of putting things in a paper calendar. But again, what I'm talking about by, not having a bajillion calendars, it's something that I need to work on. I do like things in my phone calendar because I'm able to check my schedule on the go in case someone calls me and they're like, can you do this, that, and the other on this day? And I'm able to just take a peek and be like, yes or no. Also, a lot of my calendar will sync with my husband's calendar, so he's aware of the things that I am doing as well, so it's not confusing, or he's not in the dark about stuff, although I still don't know if he actually knows that it always syncs. I don't know. It's funny. And he always like, I don't know what you're doing. And I'm like, just look at your calendar, dude. And then I the only reason I started doing like my content stuff in a Google Sheet is because I saw other people doing it. And I do like that idea because typically when I'm sitting down to write my ideas or schedule that out, I would prefer to have it in a Google Sheet. So now I just feel like I have bought a paper calendar that I don't know if I'm actually going to use for everything. Plus, if I have it in a Google Sheet, I'm able to update it anytime I want. So if I do come up with an idea, I can just pop it in the sheet and then get to it. But again, it's about the aesthetic for me. And the reason that I like to put my own personal appointments in a written journal and in my phone is because when I do it in the written agenda kind of form, I'm able to put a lot more stuff. In my calendar on my phone, I just literally put appointments, but in the written one, I'm able to put like a to-do list and like what workouts I'm going to do that day and just some notes for the day. And so, it's more of like a calendar and a journal when I probably just need to keep a journal maybe. I don't know. I don't think that would work either because I like to be able to have I do have a to-do list app on my phone that I use quite regularly, so I don't necessarily need that in my written calendar. But you see how I'm having trouble figuring all of this out. So if you are like me and you have too many calendars, I would encourage you to figure out how you can consolidate a bulk of them and then move on from them and try to schedule everything in just those things. So for me, I think I'm going to just, I can't do anything on my work calendar, like I mentioned. I think I'm going to try to schedule all of my personal things in my phone with that to-do list app, and then maybe I can find something else to put those other notes, or what could be good is like one of those little daily, those daily notepads we put like how much water you drank and a word for the day, blah, blah, blah. Maybe I can get one of those and have that on my desk because I do like to be able to like write things down that I need to do that day, and I don't typically want to be able to like pop into my phone all the time and be like, what little minor tasks do I need to do? I'd rather just have it written down and be able to check it off. So maybe I'll do that, and then I'll continue doing my content creation in the Google Sheets, and then I'll figure out what I can do with this other planner situation. Or maybe since I don't want to spend any more money, I can just use the little other blank calendar that I bought and use that for my daily notes, since it's really blank. It's just like made of like craft paper, and like it has the days of the week on it, but it's not dated, and it's like really big squares. I wish I could describe it better than that, but I cannot. So maybe I'll use that. So anyway, I talked too long about this first one, but if you are having the same dilemmas as me, figure it out so that you're not looking all over the place to make your plans. Maybe you already have that sorted, maybe you have everything in your phone. That's just the way you like it. You don't mind if your work and your personal things overlap. Maybe you've created rules so like someone, unless they're invited, can't necessarily see the personal side. They can only see the work side and vice versa. Then that works for you. So I would encourage you to figure it out so you're not a jumbled mess like me. The next tip I want to share with you is to create helpful routines. So whether you create a routine that's daily, so that would be like a morning routine, maybe a night routine, afternoon routine, or maybe a weekly routine where you might pick a certain day of the week and you just do a really big clean or tidying on your home, or a day that you choose to do laundry, or maybe a day that you choose to like do stuff for yourself, like read a book, take a bath, go on a walk, create routines of like which days you're going to work out, or maybe you want to create a monthly routine where maybe the monthly routine is where you do the deep clean, or one day that you have to set aside to, assess and make sure all bills and all like boring adult paperwork stuff is done, and things that are online that you have to check in on. But I would just encourage you to create those routines so you kind of like already set aside when you're going to do these certain tasks, mundane or not, that you have to do or you feel the need to do every single day, week, or month. And then you'll just feel like you're on top of everything, so you can schedule it in whatever calendar system that you find best for you. And then just kind of like set aside like when you're going to do what. And you don't have to like live and breathe and die by these decisions on when something is. Like obviously life will come and just like blow your plans out of the water, and you will need to adjust in the moment, and that's totally fine. But just kind of having an idea of like, okay, this is the day that I'm going to, have some time to myself. I'm going to sit and read for hours. I'm going to watch Netflix. I'm going to, do a puzzle. Like you're going to do whatever you want and really so reserve that time for you. But then there's going to be another day every week or month, depending upon how much you need to do this, that you're going to, clean the baseboards and dust the places that you never get to, and, just really vacuum behind furniture and stuff like that, and, deep clean around behind the toilet. Because maybe every week you clean the inside, but maybe once a month you need to clean behind it, because it's not anywhere that anyone sees, but you still want it to be clean. So, or maybe there's a day that you want to do your laundry because you hate laundry. I hate laundry. I hate it so much. I'm super grateful to have a really nice washing and drying set and have clothes and be privileged like that. I just don't like doing laundry. I never have, even as a kid. And I had to do laundry as a kid, and I hate it. So anyway, enough of that complaining. But yeah, so just create helpful routines, things that will kind of get you to do the things that you may not want to do, and then things that you look forward to doing, and just have it kind of in a set days, and figure it out. It will really help you to kind of set the foundation for what needs to get done, and then being able to schedule other things that don't always happen all the time around those things. And then also, if you do already schedule those things out, then you won't have to think as hard when you're trying to schedule something else in, oh, is that the day I'm going to do that? No, you've already really decided, unless it has to be shifted. The third one that I want to share with you is to cut back on clutter piles. I know this seems super random, but I think it would be really helpful. So how a lot of us will have that drawer in the kitchen, or maybe near the front door, or in our desk, or wherever, or our nightstand, where it's just full of junk, it's full of mail and gum and, random pieces of tools or screws, or, random box of candy, a letter opener, random receipts, just a junk drawer. I would encourage you to go through that, clean it out, reduce that, and maybe instead of just throwing all your random crap in one drawer, finding a place for it when it needs it. And I understand that you can't always do that. So the thing that I've implemented into my house is that I have this silver bowl in our kitchen. And when I have something and I don't know what to do with it right then, or I don't have the time to go put it away, I will put it in that bowl. And then once that bowl gets too full, then I every month I will take it and I will just, and it's not that bowl, it's probably as big as a bowl that you would put apples or something in. I will go and I will file all that stuff away, or put it away, or throw it away, or whatever needs to be done with it, to reduce on having a full drawer of crap, because that's so much time wasted having to clean that out, and it's more space to fill, and I'm trying to avoid that. Another clutter pile could be if you have a couch or a chair or somewhere in your bedroom or in your office or whatever, and you just start piling clothes and stuff on it, and it's just a place where you just lay stuff and you think you're gonna come back to it. I would encourage you to clean up those piles and not do that. And if you do need a place to do that, maybe for clothes, you can just designate a bin in your bedroom or somewhere where you put clothes that you're okay, I need to put this away. It's not quite dirty, which is why it's not going in the laundry, but it needs to be put away or used again. So you just put that in a bin, and then when it gets full, maybe that can be one of your weekly routines to put those clothes away, because you want to wear them again, and that's totally fine. They're not gross or anything. So if you have piles like that, or maybe you just have piles on your desk of paper and old mail, how you get that junk mail and you're not actually going to do anything with it, but you just let it pile up. Create a little place for it to pile up if you needed to, if you really don't have the time to go through it, and then put it into your routine every week to recycle it or burn it or whatever you need to do to get rid of it. And just kind of reduce any sort of clutter piles that you have going on in your house, maybe even in your bathroom or your vanity. If you do your makeup or your hair, you just start cluttering everything on the tops of your bathroom countertops or whatever. I would just encourage you to reduce the piles, maybe add in some more time in your day to be able to put those things away every day or every week, and maybe just figure out a way for you to use something and then put it away, or have an easy way to organize things around you, and maybe bring things to the right room first, and then at least know that that's going to save you a trip from having to go all the way downstairs to the kitchen to get something that actually belongs in the bathroom. And do you know what I mean? So any way that you can cut back on little clutter piles around your home, it will save you time and effort later. And the last tip that I have to share with you today is to consider implementing a reminder system. This is the thing that just helps me so much. So it's also part of the reason, which I didn't mention because I knew I was going to talk about it, is why I do a lot of my personal things in my phone calendar. It's because I attach a reminder to like everything. And I look at my calendar, my personal calendar, like 3 times a day because I want to make sure that I'm not going to forget something. Also, the beauty of that for me is that my calendar links to my watch, so I get a reminder in both places, and I love it. So, and even if something isn't in my calendar and it's just like a random thing that I need to remind myself to do, like pay this bill, which I don't put bills into my calendar, but if it's a bill that's not normal or something that I need to remember to do, I will put it as a reminder in my phone, and so it'll alert me that I need to do it, and then I will set it to continue to alert me until I actually like check it off as done, because regardless of how many times it reminds me, I will not check it off as done if I have not done it. So I encourage you to create some sort of reminder system. So if you want to use your phone for that, that's fine. If you don't want to do that, if that's not your thing, maybe create like a system where you leave yourself notes. I used to do that too. I would actually put like Post-it notes up around my house in different places. A reminder system for what I need to buy from the grocery store. A lot of times I will have like a little miniature magnetic whiteboard on our fridge, and my family actually uses that, and they write down the things that they want me to buy so that no one forgets. But yeah, you can put Post-it notes up, or maybe if you do want to use like a written calendar agenda type system, maybe you have a list of like actual reminders. If you are the type of person that checks that often enough, it has to be somewhere that you're going to go and actually like remember to check so that it can remind you of the things you need to do, or you need to implement some sort of alarm system in your phone. So whether that's within your calendar, or I know that I have an iPhone, and my iPhone actually has an app called Reminders, and there are hundreds of reminders in there that I've done in the past and that I have set up for the future and for now and for every day. I even have a reminder in there that tells me to drink water all the time. And I also have a daily reminder that reminds me that bickering is not really going to solve anything. And if my husband and I do have little arguments, that it's better just to work it out and then move on, as opposed to just going back and forth and bickering. So, you can use your reminder system for literally anything. And I think that you should use that if you are someone that is on your phone more often, and that would be the best solution for you to be reminded of those kind of things, right? And usually if I need a reminder, I will try to set it up like right at the beginning, like right when I know I need it, and it's super quick and easy, and it's really helpful. So, well, you guys, that's all I have to say on this topic, and we have come to the end of this topic for the week. Thank you so much for listening to the Real Positive Girl podcast. Again, my name is Sabrina. Oh my gosh, happy Friday, you guys. Thank you so much for listening, downloading, sharing the show. I super duper appreciate it. You are fantastic. And if you have listened this far, just know that next week I've already chosen the topic. But that's not to say that in the next few days I won't change it again. But I'm pretty sure that next week we are going to be talking about encouragements for the year. And I think that'll be really good. It's just like certain things that normally you wouldn't see on a list of things to be encouraged about at the top of the year. And I want to share those, and I feel really passionate about it. I'm very excited. So look forward to that. Check the description box for notes for the show, where to find me on Instagram, which is come over and say hi to me, send me a DM, follow, check me out. I'm generally there on every single day. I wasn't really on this week because I was feeling kind of under the weather, but I still try to show up and share motivational just things with you and encouragement, just like here, but in like little spurts over there. So I encourage you to check me out over there, or you can send me an email, which is also in the description box, for any questions, comments, concerns, prayer requests, feedback, topic suggestions, or just to say hey, hi, and hello to me. Either way, via Instagram or email. Either way, I am open to hearing from you guys, because you guys are amazing and I love you so much. But so that's it. Have a wonderful, fantastic weekend. I will talk to you soon. But until next time, I'll see you next week. Bye, guys.